Good day. Today is February 14, 2015. Today is my birthday, and I'm 52 today. My mom's birthday is the same day. She don't want me to tell you her age, but had a pretty good birthday today. Did a surprise party for my mom. She had a good time. Kids had a good time. It was just a good day. So I'm just glad that we did this, was able to do this today. So just great. Looking forward to next year. Today is day 45. As you know, I'm uploading them. I'm behind on the upload. So I'm uploading several videos right now. So I read every day, but I got behind like a week on uploading the videos. So I apologize if anybody's keeping up. I'm sure with billions of people on YouTube, maybe one person's keeping up with it. You never know. But at any rate, today is, like I said, February 14th. Uploading the videos, so hopefully between today and tomorrow, I have all the videos uploading one in the background now as we speak. It's going slow. My internet's acting weird today, but I'll have them all up. Monday is President's Day, so I should possibly be able to get all the videos up. But at any rate, today we're reading Leviticus chapter 15 through 16 and Matthew chapter 27 verses 1 through 26. And it's the King James Version. I mean, maybe later on I'll do a thing on the King James Version and while I'm reading it and no other version. I like the King James Version. But I remember back in the day, you know, when I first tried to pick up the Bible and read it, it seemed like Greek to me. But now it's the only version that I would ever read. So, plus I like the Old English anyway, and it sounds great. So just enjoying this so far. It's been good for me. Reading the Bible. A lot of times I read the Bible and I actually would skip over a lot of this because, you know, especially Leviticus, I would have scanned it, looked at it, and went, well, that's not important. I'll look at it if I'm ever doing a research or something like that. Then it becomes important. You know, if anything, I would read a couple of verses out of it, get what I need, and move on. But the Old Testament was one of those kind of things that, you know, you read a few books and then you don't read all of it. So, and I've scanned it sometimes, like right now, Leviticus chapter 15 and 16, I probably scan this, you know, look at a couple of verses and then jump to some other stuff, you know, because I like the stories in the Old Testament. You know, that's what I like. But I'm finding that reading the rest of this is really important. And now I understand a lot of times why people would, you know, when they putting oil on you, the importance of it, why they were doing it in certain ways. You know, I never understood all that, didn't think it was really that important. I was thinking more like, you know, hey, just put the oil on and move on. You know, everybody can do it different, but everything has a meaning. Everything has a reason. Everything has its place. And, you know, you understand and read it and look at it as a whole. So I'm enjoying this. I mean, it's only, like I say, a month and a half into it. So looking forward to getting all the way through it. You know, and at the end, December 31st, this will be great. I got some trips coming up, so I'm going to have to start reading 2 a days. You know, do one in the morning, and I typically do this in the evening. You know, like right now it's 11 o'clock. So I get back on my schedule reading early in the morning, and then later at night, like 11 o'clock, reading again. And that way I can get ahead of things. So, you know, I'm going to do that. And I might pick some things I need to get at least, I would like to get about 2 to 3 weeks ahead, maybe even a month ahead. That way, everything is good, and if anything comes up the rest of the year, you know, I can take a day or two. So hopefully I won't be finishing this on December 31st. I'll be finishing this, you know, sometime in November or something like that, maybe even October, if I do it right. I want to get in, you know, get to doing 2 a day. If I can get to doing 2 a day, then I can probably finish this thing a whole lot quicker. As a matter of fact, as I'm thinking about it, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing 2 a days because these videos only last about 15 minutes. So I think I can do 30 minutes, 30 40 minutes a day, which I think is good. And at that rate, I'll be way ahead of the game. So I'm going to look at my schedule. I like to schedule things out, look at my schedule and see, because I would like to finish. If I can finish in August, that'd be great because I'm supposed to be writing a book this year too. So if I finish in August, it'll give me a lot of time to concentrate on the book. Plus, when I do read, it'll be more of a specific type reading in terms of trying to get what I need to get in my research. And that'll be the last bit of trying to bang out the book. Oh, by the way, the name of the book is Rules for Radical Christians, the way things are shaping up. I think the book is going to be timely, and it's going to be something that we need in order to do what we're trying to do now. Once again, I live in Alabama, and I think last week, a week before last, they made gay marriage legal. Even in the book of Leviticus coming up, definitely Leviticus 18, I think, it speaks against gay marriage, and as far as marriage between a man and a woman. So I'm involved in that fight. Going to be doing some things. I'm working on a website this week, as well as putting up a mobile app. So I'm going to do all that. But that's just talking a little bit more today because today's my birthday. But at any rate, that's where we are. So now let's get back to the reading. Today is Leviticus. Once again, Leviticus chapter 15 through 16, Matthew chapter 27, verse 1 through 26. 15. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When any man hath a running issue out of his flesh because of his issue, he is unclean. And this should be his uncleanness in his issue, whether his flesh run with the issue or his flesh be stopped with his issue. It is his uncleanness. Every bed whereon he lieth that hath the issue is unclean. Everything whereon he sitteth should be unclean. And whosoever touches his bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until even. And he that sitteth on anything whereon he sat had the issue shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And he that touches the flesh of him that hath the issue shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And if he that hath the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And what saddle soever he rideth upon that hath the issue shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth anything that was under him shall be unclean until the even. And he that beareth any of those things shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And whosoever he touches that hath the issue and hath not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And the vessel of earth that he toucheth which hath the issue should be broken. Every vessel of wood should be rinsed in water. And when he hath an issue is clean of his issue, then he should number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. And on the 8th day he should take to him 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, and come before the Lord unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and give them unto the priest. And the priest shall offer them, and one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord for his issue. And if any man's seed for copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the even. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with the water and be unclean until the even. The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean until the even. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue is in her flesh be blood, she should be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her should be unclean until the even. And everything that she lieth upon in her separation should be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon should be unclean. And whosoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. And if it be on her bed or on anything whereon she sitteth, when she toucheth it, he shall be unclean until the even. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he should be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he lies should be unclean. And if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness should be as the days of her separation. She should be unclean. Every bed whereon she lie, all the days of her issue should be unto her as the bed of her separation. and whatsoever she sitteth upon should be unclean as the uncleanness of her separation. And whosoever toucheth all those things that should be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. And on the 8th day she shall take upon unto her 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, and bring them unto the priest to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer one for a sin offering, and the other for burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her before the Lord for the issue of her uncleanness. Thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness when they defile my tabernacle that is among them. This is the law of him that hath an issue, and of him whose seed goeth from him, and is defiled therewith, and of her that is sick of her flowers, and of him that hath an issue, of the man and of the woman, and of him that lied with her that is unclean. And chapter 16. And the Lord spake unto Moses after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron, when they offered before the Lord and died. And the Lord said unto Moses, Speak unto Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place within the veil, before the mercy seat which is upon the ark, that he die not. For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat. Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering. He shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh, and shall be girded with a linen girdle, and with the linen mitre shall he be attired. These are holy garments, therefore shall he wash his flesh in water, and so put them on. And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. And Aaron shall offer his bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make an atonement for himself and for his house. And he shall take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron should cast lots upon the 2 goats, 1 lot for the Lord, and the other lot for the scapegoat. And Aaron shall bring the goat upon which the Lord's lot fell, and offer him for a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell to be the scapegoat should be presented alive before the Lord, and to make an atonement with him, and to let him go for a scapegoat into the wilderness. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make an atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself. And he shall take a censer full of burning coals of fire from off the altar before the Lord, and his hands full of sweet incense beaten small, and bring it with the veil. And he shall put the incense upon the fire before the Lord, and the cloud of the incense shall cover the mercy seat that is upon the testimony, that he die not. And he shall take of the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward, and before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood with his finger 7 times. Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. And he shall make an atonement for the holy place because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions and all their sins. And so shall he do for the tabernacle of the congregation that remaineth among them in the midst of their uncleanness. And there should be no man in the tabernacle of the congregation when he goeth in to make an atonement in the holy place, until he come out, and have made an atonement for himself and for his household and for all the congregation of Israel. And he should go out unto the altar that is before the Lord, and make an atonement for it, and shall take of the blood of the bullock and of the blood of the goat, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about. And he shall sprinkle of the blood upon it with the finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and hallow it from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. And when he had made an end of the reconciling the holy place, and the tabernacle of the congregation, and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat, and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgression and all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, and should send them away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness. And the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities unto a land not inhabited, and he shall let go the goat in the wilderness. And Aaron shall come into the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall put off the linen garments, and which he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall wash his flesh with water in the holy place, and put on his garments, and come forth and offer his burnt offering, and the burnt offering of the people, and make an atonement for himself and for the people. And the fat of the sin offering shall he burn upon the altar. And he that let go the goat for the scapegoat shall wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward come into the camp. And the bullock for the sin offering, and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall one carry forth without the camp, and they shall burn in the fire their skins, and their flesh, and their dung. And he that burneth them shall wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. And this shall be a statute forever unto you, that in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, ye shall afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger that sojourneth among you. For on that day shall the priest make an atonement for you, to cleanse you, that ye may be clean from all your sins before the Lord. And it shall be a Sabbath of rest unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls by statute forever. And the priest, whom he shall anoint, and whom he shall consecrate to minister in the priest's office in his father's stead, shall make the atonement, and shall put on the linen clothes, even the holy garments. And he shall make an atonement for the holy sanctuary, and he shall make an atonement for the tabernacle of the congregation, and for the altar. And he shall make an atonement for the priests, and for all the people of the congregation. And this shall be an everlasting statute unto you, to make an atonement for the children of Israel for all their sins once a year, and he did as the Lord commanded Moses. Matthew chapter 27, verses 1 through 26. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? See thou to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple, and departed, and went and hanged himself. And the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, It is not lawful for to put them into the treasury, because it is the price of blood. And they took counsel, and bought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. Wherefore that field was called the field of blood unto this day. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, And they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him that was valued, whom they of the children of Israel did value, and gave them for the potter's field, as the Lord appointed me. And Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, Art thou the king of the Jews? And Jesus said unto him, Thou sayest. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then said Pilate unto him, Hearest thou not how many things they witness against thee? And he answered him to never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. Now at the feast the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would, and they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, Whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, Have thou nothing to do with the just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and the elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Jesus. The governor answered and said unto them, Whether of the twain will ye that I release unto you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate said unto him, What shall I do then with Jesus, which is called Christ. They say unto him, Let him be crucified. And the governor said, What evil hath he done? But they cried out the more, saying, Let him be crucified. When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this person. See ye to it. Then answered all the people and said, His blood be on us and our children. Then released Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified.